Did you know that there are 3 sales seasons in the Europe? If you want to increase your chance of entering that market successfully, please watch this episode because I will be explaining about 3 sales seasons in the Europe and which season is the best for the IT businesses to enter that market. Hello everyone, my name is Adam Skoneczny and you are watching Go Global Asia podcast. I've been living in Asia 8 years and for the last 6 years I've been helping Asian companies expand globally. In this podcast I am talking about everything related to sales, global expansion and collaboration with Western clients. Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode. This is pretty important episode. The reason is that this episode can help you to win European market. Thanks to this episode, you can stay away of making one of the worst mistakes that actually can jeopardize your expansion to the Europe market. I will be talking about the sales season, about 3 sales seasons that are present in Europe. And from my experience, not many companies know about this. And I strongly believe, and I'm pretty sure when you will listen what I want to share today with you and implement to your sales strategy, this will help you win the European market. So guys, let me start. So the seasons what I want to talk about, it's basically time or period in the year that the European businesses, they have a tendency to buy or they have tendency to not to buy. And let me start with the first season. First season is start after Christmas and New Year from somewhere of middle of January to nearly end of the May. And this is pretty potential season for you to sell your services. Basically, when the businesses, when the organization finish the very long winter break, I mean, it's around 10 days up to 2 weeks, when the companies start working from 24th of December and they coming back to work around 2nd of January. After that, everyone coming with full of energy, everyone coming with these new goals in the mind, with the readiness for the new year. And also after that, the new budgets, they are usually set up and ready for the new year. So what does that mean? The companies, they can start planning. And if they plan the collaboration with outside company, with offshore IT service provider, then that would be perfect time for you to go engage in discussion, start to talk and probably close the deal in the few months ahead. So if you're planning global expansion, this period starting from middle of January to end of the May, it could be very, very potential season for you. Season number 2, which I call dead season. Dead season is starting from June and it will finish somewhere in the middle of September. And what it is, as you probably already know, dead season is a season when you shouldn't approach European market. It's what we call holiday season. Summertime is starting in Europe and many businesses or employees in those businesses will take off summer break. And in practical life, how does it look like? Basically, imagine when you're trying to collaborate with your client in the Europe. And very often, to win the deal, you need sign off of multiple stakeholders. So imagine that you are entering the call discussion with the client, and what will happen? The client will tell you, oh, we need to wait for John when he will come back from holidays. And then 3 weeks later, John come back from holidays, but the Mark, he left for holidays. and this situation will be happen over again. But this is not really bad situation because you are already engaged with the client. However, I would like to give you even worse situation. The worst situation is that none of your messages, cold calls, or any other approaches will not be responded from the client's side. So basically, you have a high chance to approach somebody when they will be on holidays and they will be not willing to reply to you. European people, they really like their holidays. I think we all like the holidays. But they do not have a tendency to work during the holidays. As far as in Asia here, sometimes people, pretty often actually, they look into their mailbox, work mailbox, and they reply to client, to the partners. But in Europe, they don't connect personal life with the work life. And if you choose this season to start expansion, you have a very high chances that you will fail. So now, if you know this information, I highly discourage you to start any new campaigns from June to middle of September. And let's move on to the third season, which is my favorite. And why is my favorite? Because you can get the best results during that time. The third season starting from middle of September and finishing early December. And in this season, we notice that businesses have the biggest motivation to work with the IT vendors and to sign the deal. So let me explain you what is happening. There are few elements that is happening during this time. The main motivator for the European businesses to actually sign the contract is their internal budget. So usually they design their budget from the January to the end of December for the whole calendar year. And if they don't use the budget that they assigned in the beginning of the year, this budget will be gone. You cannot transfer the budget for the next year. So what they do, they try and push to get the to take that money and invest them in the collaboration or any other places. But that's the strong motivation. Second strong motivation is they want to achieve their goals. What do I mean? Obviously, at the beginning of the year, they design the goals. And closer to the end of the year, they will know if they're behind or not. And if they're behind, they will be super motivated to push new collaboration to make sure that they can achieve their goal. So you can see there are two very strong elements here that will motivate people to sign the contract. And this is the main difference between the first season, which is also pretty strong, and this third season, which is the strongest. The main difference is that in the first season, there is no such a strong motivation to push and speed up to sign the contract. However, in the third season, there is this strong motivation that will force your potential client to quickly sign the contract and go ahead to work with you. That's why this season is much stronger and much better for setting up new collaboration. Additionally, what you can see from September until December, there is many events, many shows, trade shows, and other kind of seminars or meetings where you can go and reach out directly to your potential clients. And again, they will come there with the mindset that they came here for finding new potential partner who can help them achieve specific goal. Obviously, your role will be figure out what is the goal, and then offer to the potential client something that will resonate with their problem, with their goal, and give a very specific solution. So here are those three main seasons. How you can use this information? Let's say you are very experienced working with European companies, then I highly recommend you start in the third season. Start in the place that you can quickly engage in the collaboration with potential client. However, if you don't have a experience working with European client, don't start in this season, because European clients, they will like to go quickly through contracting to proposal and things like that. If you don't have the awareness how to do it, they will quickly figure out that this is going too slow and they will quickly switch to another provider. The better option for you, if you start in first time in European market, start in the early part of the year. Why? Because it can give you option to learn, and then European clients will be much more patient to work with you. Additionally, you can use somebody help. For instance, when we work with our client, we often encourage them to enter in the third phase or third season to European market, even if they don't have experience working with European companies. And the reason is that we can share with them our experience, we can guide them, we can even give them templates of the contract that will make their life much easier and the whole process much faster. So guys, that's it. It was pretty short material, but so powerful. Why I say powerful? Because this information, what I share with you, can make you win in the European market or make you lose. If you choose bad season, you have a high chance to lose. What I want you to do is to choose right season for your expansion to the European market, and I want you to win. This was Go Global Asia podcast, and I see you in the next episode. Bye bye.